Hi friends, this is Sadiq Ali. Today I'm going to demonstrate to publish logs or data from the application to the GrayLog from the naked deployment or hybrid deployment. As in previous demo, I have demonstrated to send log from RTF runtime fabric to the GrayLog while configuring on the runtime configuration level. Okay, here I am going to demonstrate about how to promote, how to publish logs from a naked deployment or your on on-premises deployment in Mule runtime. Okay, here you can see that the agenda of this demo is that what is the GrayLog, as I have already explained, but some of the point I want to explain again, and how to configure in Mule application to send application logs, metadata of the logs or data of the business events to GrayLogs. Okay, then we go to the demo. Here you can see that MuleSoft feature that it provides the log4j configuration, that with the help of that we can publish or send logs or information about the request response or data about the application to the GrayLogs. Okay, and the GrayLogs is the same, that it's promote the information whichever is provided to the application or tool. It will you can configure, manipulate, and promote and demonstrate based on your requirement or analytical capacity or analytical requirement for the document monitoring and optimization purposes. Okay, so GrayLog, as explained earlier, the same contents are there. The streaming, that it's provide the real-time streaming from the input and demonstrating on the reports, boards, alerts on the GrayLog web interface. And apart from that, it supports many protocol to accept the logs to the application and them and publish as based on the rules defined in the GrayLogs. Okay, it works on the multiple analytical tools like Elasticsearch and other to promote or to demonstrate the logs uh, uh, for the web interface. Okay, if the architecture about the GrayLogs, if I go on that, we always try to host the logs on the GrayLog server, and then it go to Elasticsearch and the MongoDB, where we can define the rules of the logs of the data, and with the help of the Elasticsearch, we perform the search or the rules which we define with the help of the GrayLog interface, and demonstrate and extract the information on the dashboard or the alert whichever we are defining with the help of the web UI of the GrayLog. This is a simple approach, like a very simple architecture they have defined, but it's very useful whenever we are trying to identify the logs of the application and trying to identify the application. So it helps a lot for us to for uh, uh, debugging or the for monitoring the platform. Okay, um, here in the naked deployment in MuleSoft, it's like if you're deploying on premises or customer hosted run environment, then couple of things we have to take care. Okay, you can see that um, we have to change the log4j. We have to change in the in like log4j and the POM file to define the dependencies and the rules or the appender to append the logs while changing to the um, um, GrayLogs. Okay, the configuration is that I will demonstrate, I will explain in the log4j. If you can see that the configuration part, we have to add this package, and then we have to add the in the async route we have to either we can add we can define our own append like async process or async logging, or we can add in the info in the async route as well, and the appender is defined over here. We have to define the appender like that. Here you can see that this is the host where the GrayLog host where we are sending logs. This is the port. Most of the times port are like 12201, but depend on like if you are changing, want to change the port, something like that. Rest of the things are same, like it's from where you are sending the logs, the field name, rest of the things are we are not hardly change from while sending the logs, but yeah, you can definitely change to it. I am going to change this one for demonstration purpose only, and I will show that how to define it into the log4j. Okay, and then this is the dependency which you have to add in the POM file. Okay, it's very easy to configure the application to send a log to the GrayLog through your on-premise deployment. You can see that only package need to add, then async you can add the async. You can refer your appender to the async route in the log4j, and then you can add the appender. You can see the self gelf is the appender, so I have refer here over here, and you can see the appender over here in adding in the log4j. Okay, and then you have to add a dependency of it. Maybe you can change the version, but currently I'm using this one, it's fine. And then you can see the rest of that the UDP configuration in the GrayLog that can be done with the help of the user which you have on the GrayLog server. Then you can go to the system input, and with the help of that input you can define the gelf UDP, and then automatically it will be populated, or you can change based on your requirement. Okay, then is a very simple configuration. Let me go and show it logs over here. You can see that log4j over here I have added this package. By default it should not have any package, but I have added this package. Okay, and you can see that the appender, right, I have added this appender based on this package. Okay, you can see that I have host name is 48. Okay, and the port is 12201. Fine, and then you can see that I have changed the host. This logs is being sent from this host to identify from using the dashboard or the alert. You can use this property of the messages or logs on the GrayLog. Okay, here is the if I go to the GrayLog, you can see that this is the GrayLog. Okay, and this is receiving the logs. You can see it's monitoring and validating that log is being pushed or not. You can go and input, right, as I explained earlier that you have to go to the input. You have to add as right now it's running. Let me edit it. Okay, you will get this one. If you go over here, you have to select as I am demonstrating for UDP, you can add a TCP or some like syslog over here, but right now I am demonstrating for gelf UDP. So gelf UDP, you can go there and you can see that what is the node, and this is the node server actually, and this is the title of the gelf input, and this is the binding, this is the local server yeah, IP, and this is the port. You can change it if you want, and then the buffer size of the byte of the logs and number of worker thread is going to available. These are the limitations. You can change the, you can add the number of workers or threads to accept the logs. Okay, and this is the decompose size of the, this optional things. You can go through whenever you are defining, you have to go through all these points. If based on required to accept the logs, you have to change in configuration while creating the input in the GrayLogs. Okay, so very simple part into it. Like, so the same thing I have done over here, MuleSoft demo, and the port is same. I have not done any change over here, but definitely you can change it if required. Okay, that's it. I have not done anything else apart of that. Okay, now going to the application again, you can see this is the port. Okay, because if I go to here, you can see the port. The IP is here 148, so I have defined the 48, and then port is the same where I have defined the input. Okay, like 12201, right? And then host is Gurugram. Let me send a request right away to validate that how it works. I have not done any change apart from that in application. In last my log.io, I have to add a category which I have explained you in my last demo. But here I'm not adding anything, any category, because I'm using the default info root, info async root logger, that I'm not going to send, I'm not going to use any my specific defining any logger property, which I am going to use the default one right now. Okay, let me go here. So you can see that nothing changed, I have nothing else I have done over here, just sending my, just logging my payload into the log. Okay, let me check if it's started properly. Okay, done. GrayLog example in so this is just a message only. So let me drop a send a mail, send a request. Okay, go to here and let me send a request. You can see that I have started my application. You can start listing the logs, start sending the logs. Let me make a request right now. Let me send one request. Okay, okay, logs. See, you can see that if I change now, okay, I have done change one value over here. You can see the now is here. So it's being populated into the GrayLog, which you can define the dashboard. You can create the alert. Based on that, you will be able to see that the message or reports or analytic data, that which we can monitor on your platform, or the business events which is happening on your application. Okay, so only simple changes in the log4j. You have to add the package, you have to add the appender, and either you define your own async logger section, or you can use the logger section, and you can append over use refer over the appender, and then you can use the info category to send append the log to the GrayLog. Okay, so this is a simple one. Okay, thank you so much.